Now, in just under 3 weeks' time, American voters take part in midterm elections for the House of Representatives and for the upper chamber, the Senate. Currently, the Republicans control both houses, but if the Democrats can take back one of them, they could limit President Trump's actions in the second half of his term. And polls suggest the Democrats have a good chance of taking control of the House of Representatives, but the fight for the Senate is rather more difficult to predict. And they will need to win in key battlegrounds, including North Dakota, from where our North America editor, John Sokol, reports now.
Well, people get red. Tide is coming.
Heidi Heitkamp is down to earth, easygoing, and not in the least grand. And she's popular, even her opponents say nice things. But her already difficult task became Herculean when she voted against Brett Kavanaugh getting on the Supreme Court. That decision has fired up her Republican opponents, but she told me she has no regrets.
People want somebody who votes their conscience, somebody who actually sits down, listens to the story, and does what they think is right.
But her campaign in the last 24 hours has gone into meltdown.
Heidi Heitkamp's campaign is apologizing today.
Misidentified victim.
Heidi Heitkamp is apologizing.
An open letter to her opponent accusing him of not taking sexual abuse seriously enough contained the names of 130 women, all victims. But astonishingly, without getting consent for the publication of their names beforehand. Cue full-scale contrition.
The only thing I can do is say, I am so sorry.
You need a senator who doesn't just talk like they're from North Dakota.
The Republican candidate is Kevin Cramer. His campaign is accusing Heidi Heitkamp of re-victimizing the victims.
Well, I mean, it's just terrible for the individuals that have been identified by the campaign without their approval.
Does it affect the campaign? Does it affect the race?
Oh, absolutely.
It's just shy of 1,500 miles from Washington, D.C. to here in Fargo. But the race here is being watched incredibly closely in the nation's capital. If the Democrats have any chance of retaking the Senate, they need to hold on to this state. But their chances of doing so have taken a massive blow with this colossal act of political ineptitude.
We can't harvest soybeans with snow on the ground.
Her only hope might be Donald Trump's trade war with China. Farming is a critical part of the North Dakotan economy, mainly soybean and maize. But farmers like Monty Peterson have seen sales collapse as a result of Chinese retaliation.
But Mr. Trump, I don't believe that tariffs are the means by which to negotiate that trade.
So you voted for Donald Trump in 2016?
Yes, I did.
Would you vote for him again?
Well, I'm glad there's a couple of years yet to decide that.
Drive across North Dakota and you can't help be struck by its vastness and emptiness. Just 11 people per square mile. But it still sends 2 senators to Washington, just like the biggest states in the country. And Democrat hopes today seem almost as bleak as the landscape. John Sokol, BBC News, Fargo, North Dakota.